Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start with uniform circular motion, magnitude of centripetal force. Before starting this, we have already covered in the last session about Kepler's law. So in this session we will try to compare Newton's law of gravitation with the Kepler's law. So let's assume an object of mass m is revolving in a circular orbit of radius r in anticlockwise direction with a uniform speed v. As the body is moving in a circular motion, hence centripetal force is acting on it. Therefore centripetal force F is equal to mv square upon r. This is equation 1. So as you people may be knowing that centripetal force is the force which acts along the radius towards the center, and hence this body is moving in a circular direction. If suppose there is no centripetal force, then the body will not be moving in the circular direction and the body will move away from the center in the tangential direction. But as we are saying, it is moving in uniform circular motion, hence centripetal force. The formula of centripetal force is mv square upon r. This formula we are going to derive in standard 11th and 12th, where we are going to learn this topic in much more detail. So today you have to learn this because derivation is not there in 10th standard. So F, that is centripetal force, is mv square upon r. This is equation 1. But we know speed is equal to distance upon time. So what we are going to assume again, let capital T be the time taken to complete one rotation or one revolution. Means if the body is starting from this point, suppose A, moving, completing one complete circle and again coming back to point A, that means one rotation or one revolution. And one revolution is nothing but circumference of the circle. So everyone should learn this circumference of circle. And we know that circumference of circle is 2 pi r or pi d. But here we are not going to take d as a diameter, we are going to take r as a radius. So we will say speed is equal to distance 2 pi r upon time capital T, because this time is required to complete this much distance, 2 pi r upon t. Hence speed is equal to 2 pi r upon t. This is equation 2. Put 2 in 1. So put the value of v in equation 1. So what we get? F is equal to m upon r. Instead of v square, 2 pi r upon t whole square. Squaring. So 2 square is 4. Pi square m r square and this r into t square. This is equation 3. Now what we are going to do, we are going to multiply and divide equation 3 by r. This equation 3 by r, because here in the numerator we require r cube. What we require? R cube. So we multiply numerator and denominator, r square into r cube, and r into r is r square. So equation becomes F is equal to 4 pi square m r cube upon r square t square. But we know this r cube upon t square is nothing but constant as per Kepler's third law. Remember third law? What third law says? Square of the time is directly proportional to cube of the radius. And this we have already learned in the last session, which is constant. There we have said t square upon r cube is constant. In Kepler's third law, what we have said, t square upon r cube is constant, but 1 upon constant is also constant. Like suppose 4 is constant. So 1 upon 4 is 0.25, which is also constant. So if it is constant, then it reciprocal is also constant. So we say r cube upon t square is constant. So if we see this figure, this formula, 4 is constant, pi is constant. What is the value of pi? 22 upon 7 or 3.14. Square is, pi square is also constant. M, mass on object which is not changing. If a body is revolving around in a circular orbit, the mass does not change. If we take the example, if we tie a stone to a thread and we keep on revolving, the mass of the stone does not decreases, it remains constant. So 4 is constant, pi is constant, m is constant, and r cube upon t square, just we have said as per Kepler's third law, is constant. Hence we say force is inversely proportional to 1 upon r square. What we say? force is inversely proportional to 1 upon r square, and this is what is Newton's inverse square law of gravitation. Hence, from the Kepler's law, we can prove Newton's square law. And what was the Newton's square law? Force of attraction or gravitational force of attraction is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance. I suppose you people have already learned that. So this is what we have covered this. In the next session, we will start with the next topic. Make a notes of this in a fair manner, because lockdown has been extended and it is being heard that the school may also be postponed. So you people need to make the notes, because you people are in the 10th standard. Start making the notes. Difficulties are there, let me know, so that you can till the school starts you can start your studies, because the education term for the 10th standard will be decreased considerably. Because if suppose school starts instead of June in next month, then what happened, 1 month is already gone, so much of the topics has to be covered. So take care.